Hey, Nick, I'm curious, working for MTV with that kind of brand behind you, did that make people a little more interested to hear
It
about
it was
opportunities?
it was night and day, right? I came from external recruitment, working for some companies with no names, some companies were
Yep.
big banks. I worked as an external recruiter supporting DoubleClick, which was actually quite exciting at the time. DoubleClick was one of the first ad tech companies that got acquired by Google, so that was neat. But then, yeah, moving to MTV, where I had a brand and logos, and Nickelodeon and VH1 and Comedy Central, depending on who I'm reaching out, I could talk about whatever channel. Yeah, huge. And so I sometimes see this, corporate recruiters with big brands and big logos behind them. In many cases, you're not. That's a different role than being an external recruiter like Mario working on a
I'm glad
federal
Amy isn't
client.
here.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
wish
wanted.
Amy was here. I wish Amy was here.
And I heard her show. I listened to that, and she makes some good points, right? Once you become an Amazon, you're now the devil, and there's going to be challenges with that type of success as well, right? So I get it, but for the most part, if a company knows your name and recognizes what you're building. So I went from MTV Networks to an early stage, no name startup in Emeryville, California, and saw these complete side spectrum of that. Right, it went to a hyper competitive San Francisco market. We weren't on we weren't on the BART, so it wasn't easy to commute from. We couldn't recruit people from San Francisco to go out of San Francisco, and we were building this weird, strange advertising technology that was hard to explain, and only a small segment of the talent pool even knew what this programmatic media buying was at the time, right? So again, uphill, up to uphill, trying to pitch software engineers and product managers about this small company, unknown, etc. But so that's another challenge. There's an art and a science to attracting those types of candidates, figuring out what you can use to separate yourself from the competition. We found that we could. We were born in Berkeley. Like, we came out of the UC Berkeley school, which was competitive to Stanford. So while so many startups were coming out of Stanford, we could lean and partner with Berkeley and tap into software engineers in the undergrad program and build a really cool intern program to get software engineers as soon as they graduated. That was a strategy we figured out that we could leverage. So, every company, you got to figure out what your story is and what makes it easy for candidates to understand not only what you're building, but why they want to commit the next 3 years of their life to supporting that vision.
Okay. I was going to ask you something, but I let you talk so long. I can't remember. I can't remember more than 2 seconds. Okay.
No, it was about